Hi, I'm Laura Templeton, Chief Instigator and Brand Communications Consultant at 30 Second Success. I'm a professional speaker, author of the book 30 Second Success, Ditch the Pitch and Start Connecting, and chapter president for Virtual Networkers, an organization of heart-centered entrepreneurial women who love to come together and support one another in business and in life.
And I'm Suzanne Tregenza Moore, marketing and business coach at SuzanneTMoore.com, host of the All Things Authorpreneur podcast, author of Hang On Tight, Learn to Love the Roller Coaster of Entrepreneurship, and a longtime member of Virtual Networkers. And Laura and I met through Virtual Networkers. And since we have been a part of it, many of our members have become authors. And we've been connecting and watching them and their success. And recently we saw a book giveaway done by some others, and we decided to do the same to support our Virtual Networkers sisters. So we're giving away a bunch of book bundles in two categories. One is self-help or personal growth, and the other is business and entrepreneurship. And to be eligible to win one of the bundles, all you have to do is go to decembergiveaway.com and enter your information there before the end of the day on December 12th. And everyone who enters, by the way, is going to be eligible for free gifts from the authors, whether or not you win a bundle. So it's a win-win for everyone. And now it's my pleasure to make this video focused on Laura Templeton and her book, because we've been interviewing all the authors and we certainly don't want to leave her out. So this is her book, and I'm going to read her bio right off the back. Laura Templeton is the founder and CEO of 30 Second Success, a company that helps entrepreneurs, professionals, and sales teams make better connections and obtain more business in 30 seconds or less. The foundation of 30 Second Success is built on crafting a brief message that connects with ideal clients on an emotional level. Laura is passionate about helping everyone find their personal message, thus giving them a voice to be heard. She lives in Florida now, and with her husband, son, and an office dog. And this was written when she was still in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, but I know she's moved to Florida. So, Laura, I'm so excited to chat about your book today.
Thank you so much.
So let's dig in, and I just want to understand why it is you decided to write 30 Second Success in the first place.
I appreciate you asking me that question. You kind of, and it's been a long journey. The reason why I decided to write my book was because I had watched way too many people struggle to communicate effectively who they are. So I had launched my company and was working with a lot of business owners, service-based business owners, people in sales teams and in sales positions, and helping them position themselves well with that message, right? I teach people a formula that helps them understand how to communicate more effectively. Well, after watching so many people struggle and only being able to work with one at a time or in small groups, I figured I've got to get this out to more people. I've got to be able to help other people experience the same transformation that my clients and the people in my workshops were experiencing. So that's where the book comes in. It gives me the ability to have a much broader reach, to reach people around the world and have that global, have that global shift happen when it comes to helping people with their 30-second message.
And who would you say your book is for? Is it just for entrepreneurs?
It is not. I found that a lot of people in the professional world that are in business as well, like working for a company as opposed to working for themselves, find it helpful not only for when they're out networking and have an opportunity to talk about their company or what they do externally, but internally as well, helping them to really refine that internal communications. And I've actually worked with several companies in helping them understand and supporting their employees in getting that message in a way that they can speak to one another internally, and it just changes everything. Because when you have people that then find an easier way to communicate with one another, share what they're working on, share how it's changing things or what the outcomes are, it makes a big difference for the internal communications as well. So it's really for service-based business owners and professionals.
Yeah. I can see how even internally, I mean, I haven't been in a corporate environment for a very long time, but I can see how even in an internal corporate environment, it would be really important because one of the elements is really understanding who the stakeholders are of the person hearing that message, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. One of my favorite stories is I was working with a woman from a gas and electric company up in Pennsylvania when I was still in Pennsylvania, and she said to me, "Can you help me?" I literally stepped on the elevator with the president of my company, our president of our company, and he asked me what I was working on, and how it was going, and she said, I realized after I got off the elevator, all I did was gush about some of my other teammates and how effective they were and how great they were doing, but I didn't highlight the work that I was doing. And she
Yeah.
said, I missed an opportunity to really share with him what I was contributing. And so,
Yes.
we worked together and I helped her figure out how to gain more confidence in talking about her own internal contribution instead of, and still being able to highlight the people on her team without making them the star.
Yes. I love that. And you know what? That reminds me of a conversation that you and I have had about your book and about helping people nail their 30-second message. And how you've seen shifts in people once they have nailed it. And I'd love for you to share that with anyone who's watching this right now, because I think there are so many people that get nervous about going to networking groups because they feel like they don't have the right message and everybody else sounds so good. So I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
And that's one of the things that I absolutely love the experience. And when I get to witness it for the first time, when someone has that message that really resonates with them internally, it really connects with them on a deep emotional level that aha moment of, yeah, this is who I am and this is who I really serve and how I help people. And then helping them to voice that you literally see a transformation in them. You see their confidence just exude. I've had clients that literally used to go from shaking and or hiding in a bathroom to standing up, stomping their feet and taking, that power pose thing and delivering a message with such confidence and grace and power that it changed how they started connecting with people in the room. And it made such a significant difference in their business that they felt like they now had a message that really meant something to them and connected with the people that they wanted to reach.
Mhm. And I love the subtitle of your book. So 30-second success, right? It's so clear. It's for anyone who's done the elevator pitch for years or been trying to get their elevator pitch down for a long time. You're like, "Oh, I know what she's talking about." But then the ditch the pitch and start connecting. It's like, "Wait, but you're saying 30 seconds is the pitch." So talk about that, ditching that part and the real connecting part.
Well, the parable behind that is really that your a lot of people think your 30-second message is a pitch, right? Or an offer. Your 30-second message when it comes to networking or video, it's like a mini commercial for your business. It's not a pitch. It's not an offer. It's an invitation to get people to really want to know you more. It's that, that first door opener, the first invitation. People have to know you and trust you before they're going to work with you. So you need to start building that from the first thing that comes out of your mouth. People aren't going to buy from you if you go in for the hard sell the minute you open your mouth. So ditching the pitch is really about creating that message that connects on an emotional level and invites people to want to have a deeper conversation with you. And that's where the connection begins, right? We talk about connecting with emotion, connecting with heart. Coming from the marketing world, you totally get this, Suzanne. So many people forget that we are emotional beings and we want to feel, right? We want
Yes.
to feel that someone is going to take care of us. They're going to nurture our relationship. They're not going to let us down if we decide to work with them. People have to feel that in your message. And I think all too often we are so focused on, giving people a whole list of everything that we do because we're afraid we're going to leave something out and they're not going to know that we offer that. So they're going to go to somebody else. When in fact, it's really designed in a way to just give people just enough to understand how you help people just like them and
Yes.
inspire them to want to know more. And that's where the ditch the pitch and start connecting comes in. It's not your 30-second message is not a pitch. It's an invitation.
I
And
love
how do
it.
you put in it? Your invitation is very personal and inviting, and it's inviting. And that's the whole point to your 30-second message or your 30-second commercial. And it's, I think that it's taken a bad rap. For years, a lot of people refer to it as an elevator pitch, right? And it's very different. Your 30-second message is very different. Yes, there's going to be opportunity where somebody says to you, "Hey, sell me in 30 seconds." Good luck with
Right.
that. That's a hope, but it's a very different type of messaging. It's a very unique type of messaging. That's your Shark Tank type of
Right.
messaging.
Yes.
So
Yes, absolutely. Love it. So, as we've said, everybody who enters the giveaway has the opportunity to download gifts from all the authors. So, I would love for you to share what the gift is that you are providing.
yeah, so I have your follow-up system to success. And the reason why I put that together is one of the things that I get asked a lot when people are really diving in and networking more and making deeper connections, right? And they're starting to meet more people. It's like, how do you keep track of all these people? How do you stay on top? And how do you make sure that you follow up and people don't fall through the cracks? So that's what the follow-up system to success is. It's a simple system. I use it myself. I put it together for people to be able to have a system in place that really helps them to keep track of all the connections they're making.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. So important. So everyone will have the opportunity to download that gift from you. And I want to ask one more thing, and that is I'd love for you to share how virtual networkers influenced and impacted your getting your book out into the world.
So it's a very interesting story because I was not part of Virtual Networkers when I first started writing my book and when I first met Debbie Keevan. Debbie was introduced to me. I was one of those people that kept saying, "I'm writing my book, I'm writing my book, I'm writing my book." And then I finally said to a friend of mine, "I'm really sick of hearing myself say I'm writing my book. I need help." And my brand photographer actually introduced me to Debbie at the time. And it was right, I was launching my book and she said, "You know what? I really want to introduce you to Virtual Networkers. It's a great group of women." She started educating me on what launch partners were. And I'm like, "Debbie, I don't know. Who are my launch partners?" She's like, "Oh, you got to come to Virtual Networkers." And, just I was totally embraced by the women in Virtual Networkers when I joined a few months before my book was launched. And so everybody in the group got to know that, they got to experience all the excitement of me getting my book through editing and publishing and all that stuff. And then to top it all off, I was actually Debbie's very first book published under her press. And she's, she was the very first Virtual Networkers member. So they were excited, not just for me, but for Debbie as well. And Debbie just held my hand and took me through that process. But the women in Virtual Networkers surrounded me, lifted me up because I don't know about you, but when you get through the launch and then all of a sudden there's like, okay, well, what? And it's almost like, or you finish writing the book and it's, it's being published and it's out there and it's like, there's almost like this moment of, okay, I'm done. Now what? So
Right.
they really lifted me up and helped me through that process. And there was that moment of, oh my gosh, now what do I do? And between the women in Virtual Networkers and Debbie herself, it was just such a powerful experience to be able to have that kind of support system behind me, especially with women who've already been, published their own books or published through a different publishing company, had worked with Debbie before, and we're very encouraging. So I just say my book probably wouldn't be out there if it weren't for Debbie and Virtual Networkers. It
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah. Awesome. Such a great story. Yeah. Um, Thank you for sharing that. Well, I have to say, it's been a delight working with you on this project. And I want to thank you for being one of the authors that is participating and one of the leaders on the project. So thank you for that. And I also want to remind everyone that if they want the opportunity to win your book and several others, they've got to go to decemberbonanza.com before the end of the day on December 12th. And they will have the opportunity to sign up, potentially win one of the bundles, and also they'll have access to all the gifts that we're sharing about on our videos.